On the final evening of the year, when the winter winds blew through every street and the night sky hung low with heavy clouds, a small girl walked alone through the snow-covered town. The lamps flickered weakly in the cold wind, casting long, wavering shadows across the empty streets. Snowflakes clung to her tangled hair and thin clothes, but she kept walking, shivering with every step. She carried in her hands a small bundle of matches, tied with a rough string. All day long she had tried to sell them, but no one had stopped. People hurried past her, wrapped in warm coats and boots, too busy celebrating the holiday to notice the little girl who trembled in the cold. She had not sold even a single match the entire day. Her hands were blue from the freezing air, and her feet, bare and red, looked as though they had forgotten what warmth felt like. She was afraid to go home. Her father would be angry that she had earned nothing. Their little attic room was cold as well, with holes in the roof where the wind blew in, but at least it was safer than the streets. Yet she dreaded his harsh voice, the scolding, and perhaps the beating. So she kept wandering, searching for a corner where the wind would not bite so cruelly. At last, she found a small sheltered nook between two tall buildings. There, the wind was a little quieter, though the cold still wrapped around her like icy chains. She sat down, pulled her knees close to her chest, and tried to warm herself, but her fingers felt stiff as wood, and she knew she had to do something before the cold swallowed her completely. She took out a single match from the bundle. Her hand shook as she struck it against the wall. A tiny flame burst forth, bright and golden. It flickered gently and cast a warm circle of light around her. In that moment, the cold seemed to move back, as though frightened of this small, hopeful fire. She stared at the flame, her eyes wide and filled with longing. And in that delicate flame, a vision appeared. She imagined a warm, iron stove glowing with bright orange heat. The fire crackled inside it, filling the air with comforting warmth. She could almost feel the heat on her frozen fingers and toes. She reached out toward the stove, desperate to touch it, desperate to belong to that warm world. But the match burned down to her fingertips, and the stove vanished instantly. Darkness and cold rushed back like a cruel wave. She quickly struck another match. The flame rose again, brighter this time, and in that glow she saw a table beautifully laid out with a white cloth. On it rested a golden roast goose, steaming and delicious, its aroma filling the imaginary room. The feast looked grand and warm. She imagined the soft sound of laughter, the chatter of families gathered around the table. She reached out eagerly as the goose seemed to come alive and glide across the table toward her. But the moment the match died, the vision vanished, and the cold returned. Her heart ached. The little girl lit a third match. This flame danced like a tiny fairy. In its glow rose a tall Christmas tree, covered in shining candles and sparkling ornaments. It was more beautiful than any tree she had ever seen, towering above her like a magical giant. The candles glowed like stars, the ornaments gleamed like jewels, and she felt her heart lifting with the joy and wonder the sight brought. Then the flame went out, the tree melted away, and she sat again in darkness. She looked up at the sky. A star shot across it, leaving a bright trail behind it. Her grandmother, the only person who had ever loved her, had once said, "Whenever a star falls, a soul is rising to heaven." The little girl's eyes softened with longing, and she whispered, "Someone must be going to heaven tonight." With trembling hands, she struck another match. And suddenly, in that gentle light, she saw her grandmother standing before her, kind, warm, smiling with the same love she remembered. Her eyes were soft, her arms open, her presence glowing. It felt as though the warmest blanket had wrapped around her. "Grandmother," the little girl cried, "please take me with you. Don't disappear when the match goes out. Please, don't leave me." Fearful that her grandmother's image would vanish, she struck the rest of the matches all at once. The flames rose, bright as daylight, filling the entire alley with warm, glowing light. In that brightness, her grandmother looked real, more real than anything the little girl had seen in a very long time. She reached out, lifted the girl gently, and held her close. The cold, the hunger, the loneliness, all of it faded away. Together, they rose higher and higher, leaving behind the snow-covered streets, the harsh world, and every pain the little girl had ever known. They rose into a land filled with warmth, love, and everlasting peace. The next morning, when the sun touched the sleeping town with pale winter light, people found the little girl seated in the corner. Her face looked calm, with a small, gentle smile. Her bundle of matches lay beside her, burnt out completely. They felt sorry for her, thinking she had simply tried to warm herself in the night. But none of them knew the beautiful visions she had seen, the happiness she had felt, and the loving arms that had carried her away. For her, the cold street had faded forever, and she had gone to a place where there was no more hunger, no more fear, only warmth and love, unending. That evening, in a warm room far from the cold streets, a mother closed the storybook she had been reading to her 3 children. The room was soft and quiet, the glow of a lamp warming their faces. All 3 children stared at their mother, eyes wide and emotional. "Amma," the youngest whispered, "why didn't anyone help that little girl? She was so cold. Didn't anyone see her?" The mother stroked her daughter's hair gently. "Sometimes," she said softly, "people look, but they do not truly see." The middle child leaned closer, his voice trembling. "But, Amma, if we saw her, we would have helped her, right? We wouldn't walk away." Their mother wrapped her arms around them. "No, my dears, we must never walk away. If someone is hungry, lonely, or frightened, even a small kindness could save them." The eldest child quietly asked, "Amma, there are still children like her today, aren't there? Children who wait for someone to help?" "Yes," she whispered, "and that is why we remember stories like this, so we learn to be the warmth someone else is praying for." The next morning, the family walked through the town square. Near the old church stood a small stone statue, a girl holding a bundle of matches, her face gentle and peaceful. At its base read the words, "In memory of every child who waited for warmth." The children stood still, their hearts soft. "We won't ignore anyone like her," the eldest whispered. The mother smiled, tears in her eyes, and high above them, a tiny star grew brighter for a moment, as if someone, somewhere, was quietly saying, "Thank you."